One of the biggest problems people have with achieving a goal is they just can't push themselves hard enough to get there. So I just want to talk about goals for a second. Maybe I can help you achieve some of your goals. One of the biggest problems people have with achieving a goal is they just can't push themselves hard enough to get there. And you got to realize, when you're younger, nobody wants to go to school, but you go to school because you have to. You're in a mandatory situation. You don't want to go to work, but if you don't go to work, you don't have any money, you can't pay your bills, you get kicked out of your house, you don't have a car. It's another mandatory situation which forces you to do that. So sometimes the best way to achieve your goal is to literally put yourself into a mandatory situation where there's a repercussion for your action or your non-action. It's a very smart way to kind of give yourself some accountability to achieve something. So for instance, if you want to work out and you want to get fit, sometimes having your own gym and going on your own and doing your own thing is not the way to do it, because then you're not accountable to anybody. You don't have to go. So one of the things you can do is get a membership, pay the money, which is going to force you to go. In most cases, I mean, nothing's going to force you completely, but it just helps. All of that helps. If you can find little mandatory situations to place yourself in, you're going to see you're going to achieve a lot more goals that way. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be something you want to do with work. You want to learn something. You want to get from where you're at in your job right now to a different level. Well, maybe your job doesn't have any advancement opportunities. Go get a second job. And that may suck because maybe you have no time to sleep. Who cares? If you do that, you're going to find a way to do it. Trust me, you'll find a way. Everybody always says, I don't have enough time to do blank. But if blank was mandatory, you would find a way to do it. It happens every single time. If you were court mandated to do something throughout the day, you'd find a way to do it. So my advice to you is think about the things that you can set up in your life that'll cause a mandatory situation for you, and you're going to see that it's going to help jumpstart you. Now, hopefully you don't have to do that forever, because you start to train your brain to, hey, if I say I'm going to do something, I can do it and I can accomplish it. But maybe you need a little kickstart. And a kickstart would be look for mandatory situations, so that way you feel like you almost have to do the thing you're trying to do, which is going to help you to be a better person or to succeed or to lose weight or to get fit or whatever you're trying to do. So it's actually a good thing that you're kind of being forced to do it. So just think about that. If you can set things up in your life where you can put it in a mandatory situation where there's a repercussion for the action that you don't do or you do, that's going to help you out to kind of jumpstart you and propel you into being a more successful person, because it kind of trains the brain to say, hey, I set this, I'm going to do it. And then sooner or later, hopefully you can start deleting the mandatory situations and just being in a flow where you're scheduling correctly to be able to do things you have to do. So it's something to think about.